Hi, I'm Emery, and this is my story. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. When I was a kid, my parents always fought a lot. Mom got so fed up that she yanked me out of bed one night and snuck me out the door. Mom, I'm sleepy. I want to go to bed.
Shh, quiet.
The next thing you know, we'd moved to a tiny apartment in a strange town, and I hated it. I screamed and cried for Mom to take us back home. Take me back! This is whack! I tried reaching out to my dad, but he was always too busy. That made me sad. But Mom found ways to cheer me up. Eventually, I got used to our new place, and hanging out with Mom was pretty cool. After a while, Mom met someone new. Soon they were married, and we moved into a new house. My stepdad was nice, but his daughter was a witch.
Hey Naomi, welcome your new mom and stepsister.
Welcome them! You, Dad, they're poor! Why are we keeping them here and feeding them? They're disgusting and gross!
Haha, she's just kidding. She's a little shy. She's a sweetheart once you get to know her.
Naomi was the worst. She threw ketchup in my face, turned the lights off when I was reading, tossed my clothes out the window, and stole all my toys. I tried to tell my mom what was going on.
Hey babe, we're guests here. Naomi is a bit spoiled, but we have to learn to accept her.
Thank God Naomi and I didn't go to the same school. Naomi went to an expensive school for brats, and I begged my mom and stepdad to let me stay at my old school. But a few years later, things took a turn. My stepdad's company lost a ton of money and he couldn't keep up with the bills.
Girls, money is tight, so we'll have to enroll both of you in public school.
Public school? No!
Naomi threw the biggest tantrum and refused to eat for a week, though I caught her sneaking cookies from the kitchen at night. On the first day of school, Naomi acted like a total spoiled brat.
Hey everyone! You may see this girl talking to me, but that doesn't mean we're related. She's just our maid.
No, she's our maid.
No, she's our maid.
No, she is our maid.
No, she's our maid.
Naomi and I fought all the time. We shouted at each other in the hallway, had a food fight in the cafeteria, and one time during science class, we started shoving each other and accidentally hurt the teacher who was trying to separate us. She ended up with a broken nose. The kids thought we were insane. Neither of us had any friends. I mean, I couldn't blame them. Naomi was a crazy witch and I'm cool, but shy and weird and insecure and invisible. So yeah, after weeks of being outcasts, we grew a bit closer. Just a bit. 'Cause we were lonely, and we only had each other. Then one day in first grade, our parents sat us down to give us some news.
We're gonna have a baby.
Oh really? That's cool!
A baby! Why would you go and do a stupid thing like that?
The baby came and my parents were so happy.
A beautiful little boy.
Isn't he precious? Let's call him Sam.
I fell in love with Sam immediately, even though he was annoying. He cried a lot and peed all over the place. Naomi avoided Sam like the plague. She'd lock herself in her room and only came out to eat.
Look at his stupid, dirty face. Oh my God. Why is he throwing food everywhere?
I played with Sam every day.
You're so good with him. Honey, could you watch Sam while Dad and I run some errands?
Sure, no problem. As time went on, Mom and Dad started leaving him with me all the time. Eventually, I was Sam's permanent babysitter. When Sam turned 2, he turned into a maniac. He drew on the walls with crayons, smashed an expensive vase, and poured milk in my dad's office drawer. And they blamed me every time.
That vase cost a fortune. I'm taking it out of your allowance.
But it's not my fault.
I told you so.
Told me what?
That the brat was a bad idea. It's only gonna get worse.
And Naomi was right. One day, I had a huge chemistry test and told my parents way in advance that I needed to study. But they still shoved Sam in my face and just left. I'd had enough. I dropped Sam off in Naomi's room and headed out the door.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm done with this family. I'm out of here.
You can't just leave me with this thing.
Watch me. Look, Sammy, she has cookies. Sam grabbed Naomi and I walked out the door.
Ah, no, get away. Leave me alone. Help.
I hopped on the bus and went straight to my dad's. He was out of town when I got there, so his maid let me in. For the first time in a long time, I had peace and quiet. My mom and stepdad freaked out when they found out I'd left, but I refused to come back. In school the next day, Naomi ran up to me looking crazy.
I can't take it. Please come back home.
I thought you hated me?
I do, but Sam's a demon. He tore up all my clothes and flushed my makeup down the toilet.
Sounds like you're getting a taste of your own medicine. I turned to walk away, but then Naomi started bawling like a big baby.
Please, I'll do anything. Just come back home.
Okay, maybe I'll come back, but on one condition. You have to do what I say when I ask.
No way. I'm not your maid.
You won't be my maid, you'll be my assistant.
That's even worse.
Take it or leave it. Naomi reluctantly agreed. But even if she hadn't, I'd have moved back anyway because I missed my little Sam. The thought of him being ignored by my shallow parents and selfish Naomi made me sick to my stomach. I moved back in, and whenever our parents left us with Sam, I'd set up a schedule, so Naomi and I shared the responsibilities. Things were great for a while, but they took a turn. When Sam turned 10, he stole my mom's diamond ring and gave it to his classmate to impress her.
A pretty ring for a pretty girl?
Are you crazy? I can't take this.
Sam got so mad he punched the girl in the face. Then he sold mom's ring to his friend.
I'll give it to you for $50.
40!
Deal!
One day, Sam's teacher called my parents in for a meeting. Of course, they were too busy to go and sent me and Naomi instead.
We came because our parents have leukemia. Oh my god.
No, she means anemia.
No, I think I meant amnesia. They're getting old and crazy.
They're just sick, and we came instead of them. Can you tell us what the problem is?
Sam gave one of his classmates a black eye. He broke a window, and he's been terrorizing the other students.
When we got home, I went straight to Sam's room. We need to talk about what's going on with you in school.
I'm busy!
If you keep this up, you might get expelled.
Get out!
Sam slammed the door in my face. He was very stubborn, but I wanted to help him. When my mom and stepdad came back that night, Naomi and I told them everything.
It's those mean kids, they hate me. And they're always making fun of me because I don't have nice things.
Oh, darling, we're so sorry.
We'll buy you new clothes.
Then Mom took Sam on a shopping spree. I couldn't believe they fell for his act. Later that night, my parents went out of town for a business dinner, and Naomi and I were watching AvatarWorld videos in my room when Sam appeared out of nowhere.
Hey, stupid witches, you're gonna pay for telling on me.
Get out of the way, psycho. We're trying to watch TV.
Sam pulled out a huge jar of crickets from behind his back and smashed it onto the floor. The crickets landed in our hair and all over our clothes.
Ha ha ha! Get them, my pretties!
A couple of months later, Mom and Stepdad called us into the living room to tell us we were moving into a brand new, fancy house.
So wait, we're rich again?
Yes, we have twice as much money as we had before.
Thank God. I hated being poor.
Now I can go to a fancy college.
Only the best for my daughter.
A month later, Naomi left for college in another city. I could have gone away too, but I was too worried about Sam. So I got enrolled in a college close to home. But soon after, my stepdad enrolled Sam in an expensive private school, and he started hanging out with these spoiled rich kids. I had to make sure that he didn't get into some big trouble. In my sophomore year, I was reading in the park one day when suddenly I spotted a big dog running at crazy speed with a guy my age trying to grab his leash. His name was Alex, and he was a senior in my university. I gave him my hoodie, and we ended up talking for a while. I hadn't even realized 2 hours had gone by. Oh shoot, I gotta go. I gotta check in on my little brother.
So how? How do I get your hoodie back to you? Maybe I could take you out for dinner tomorrow?
Oh, I'm sorry, but with the university and some things at home, I really don't have time to date.
Gotcha. Well, here's my number. Just let me know where I can drop it then.
He started walking away, and so did I. But a part of me felt like I was doing the wrong thing. Hey, wait! How about a coffee tomorrow?
Sounds like a good place to start.
Alex and I started dating, and being with him just made me happy. For the first time, it felt like someone was noticing what I needed and was taking care of me. But things at home with Sam just kept getting worse. He was skipping classes and getting detention all the time. And then some creepy guys started coming around the house looking for Sam when my parents weren't home. When I asked him who they were, he just told me to mind my business. Then one night, Sam came home with a bruised face. Are you okay? What's going on?
I'm fine, sis. I can take care of myself.
Sam, I can't be your babysitter forever. I have a life of my own, and one day I'll just leave.
Then leave. My life, my choices. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change.
Then he just hugged me and cried. The next morning I tried to talk to him, but he was already gone. I'm worried about Sam. I think something's going on with him.
You worry too much, honey. Sam's fine.
Have you seen his face?
He said he got hurt during football practice.
Ugh, soon after I graduated, Alex proposed. And I was over the moon! I'd have to move out, but I would only be 10 minutes away from Sam. Not that he seemed to care much either way. And on my wedding day, Sam was nowhere to be found. I kept calling him, but I couldn't get through, and we couldn't postpone the ceremony any longer. I felt so upset that he had missed this. But 2 hours later, I finally got a panicked call from Sam asking me to pick him up from some bad neighborhood. You're not a baby anymore. You just ruined one of the most important days of my life. I've always been there for you, and you couldn't even be there for me, even today. I started to give up hope of fixing him. I was fighting a battle alone, a battle that wasn't mine, and my parents just made things worse. Sam failed high school, but my stepdad paid the school board to give him passing grades. It made me so mad, but I had no say in the matter. Then one day, the company I worked for gave me an amazing job promotion if I moved to California. It was a great opportunity, but I felt unsure. Alex supported me either way, but I tossed and turned all night, thinking about what to do, and finally called Naomi.
You've got one life, Emery. You can either live it for Sam or live it for yourself.
Sam had started interning at his dad's firm, but I observed him for some weeks and saw that he still had the same kind of friends and was still blowing money and partying the same way. And I finally made my decision.
What? You're going to California? That's across the country. I need you here, Emery.
No, not really. You only need me around to clean up your messes. But I'm done doing that. Sam, you were right. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change.
Emery, please. You're all I have.
You've got mom and dad, and they'll take care of you in their own way. You're their kid. I just can't be your parent anymore.
But you're my big sister.
And I'll always be there for you as that. So when you decide to fix your ways, come and see me, okay? I love you, Sam, but I'm leaving. It's time.
Hi, I'm Kaylee from LA. Please like and subscribe. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always loved to sing. My grandma was a professional singer. She sang around the world with the most prestigious orchestras and operas. I miss her and her voice so much. When I got to 10th grade, I became the singer of the family. I went to the most prestigious performing arts school on the West Coast. My favorite class was music, of course, and my favorite club so far was show choir. We had been the best in the state for 14 years, with the trophies to prove it. My best friend, Addison, is also in show choir with me. He and I met in kindergarten and have been inseparable ever since. He's the funniest guy I've ever known. He's also gotten pretty cute over the years, too. Or at least that's what all the girls in school think. But I just don't see him that way. Hard to see someone that way when they used to sneak over from next door and put frogs in your bed. Yuck! One day, our show choir teacher, Ms. Conrad, had big news for us.
We've been asked to compete at this year's National Show Choir competition.
All right.
Yeah!
But to ensure we get top scores, the soloists will have to be chosen very carefully.
Ms. Conrad told us that we were going to have to audition for the big solo right in front of each other in 1 week. My nemesis, Heidi, started bragging in front of the whole group.
We all know who's gonna get it! Me, of course. Everyone knows I have the stage presence of a star.
I don't know. I think Kaylee might give you a run for your money. She's got star power and the voice to match.
The others' eyes widened. Were they about to fight? Just then, the bell rang. As everyone left the class, I swatted Addison on the arm. Don't start fights with Heidi. She's my biggest competition.
That's exactly why you have to stand up for yourself in front of her.
I just don't want anyone to think I think I'm better than her.
Well, then I guess that's why I'm here. To remind them for you.
Oh, what would I do without you?
Good thing we'll never have to find out.
I was so nervous, even though I'd sung in front of our choir before. But the pressure was on the whole week leading up to auditions. I practiced in the shower, in the bathroom, between classes. I really wanted to beat out Heidi for the big solo at the end of the show. Finally, audition day arrived. I woke up, put on my cutest outfit, curled my hair, and took extra time with my makeup. After all, if I'm gonna be a big star one day, I might as well start dressing like it now. When I stepped out of my house to walk to school with Addison, His cheeks turned super red. What's wrong?
Nothing, you just look different is all. Your hair is.
Oh no! Does it look bad? Maybe I should have worn it up. I'll just go chance.
No, leave it. You look good. Great.
When I arrived in class, Heidi was sitting in the front row, looking totally perfect. What was I thinking? With her shiny hair, big eyes, and as much as I hated to admit it, her beautiful voice. Why would anyone ever look twice at me? But I just tried to remember what my grandma would always say.
It's not about who sings the loudest or looks the prettiest. As long as your song comes from your heart, people can't help but listen.
So I took a deep breath and sat down next to Heidi, right in the front row. She gave me a once-over and rolled her eyes. Who cared what she thought? I knew I looked great. Miss Conrad sat down at the piano and called Heidi up first. After she finished singing, I applauded politely along with everyone else. Then it was my turn. I stood confidently and turned to face everyone. Addison gave me a thumbs up from the back row. Such a good friend! Ms. Conrad played the opening notes for my song when suddenly the door to the classroom burst open behind me. I turned to look, and standing in the doorway was the most handsome boy I'd ever seen. Tall, with long brown hair that fell perfectly into his eyes. He looked just like a fairy tale prince. My jaw dropped. He handed a note to Ms. Conrad.
Class, this is our newest addition, Patrick.
He waved to everyone, then put his hand on my shoulder, looked deep into my eyes, and said,
I'm so sorry I interrupted your audition. Knock 'em dead.
Then he took my seat right in the front row. I gulped. Oh, now I was nervous again. I shook off my nerves, took a deep breath, and nodded to Ms. Conrad as she played. I could feel the music filling me up all the way to the top. I opened my mouth to sing and let my song come from my heart. When I finished, the whole class burst into applause. I felt like I was walking on air. Patrick got up to sing something last minute. He was so good. The next day, Ms. Conrad put up the list and I had gotten the solo. And she'd even added a duet in the middle of the show for Patrick to sing with me.
Looks like it's you and me, Kaylee. I'm so honored to be singing with someone as talented as you.
I felt my cheeks turn red, and he grinned.
You're so cute when you blush like that. Be careful, or I might just fall in love.
He walked away with a wink at me. I couldn't believe he'd just said that. And neither could Heidi, who'd been listening around the corner.
Don't get too comfy with that solo. Once Miss Conrad figures out that you'll cave at the first sign of pressure, I'll be ready to step in.
Eavesdrop much? Jealousy isn't your color, Heidi. The next day, we started rehearsing for nationals. Everyone was working so hard, and Patrick and I sounded great together. But when it came to our dance, it was like I'd suddenly grown a second left foot.
No, Kaylee, no. Once more from the top.
Miss Conrad, I'm happy to come up front and show Kaylee how it's done.
Not necessary, but thank you, Heidi.
Just here for the team.
After I knocked Patrick over by mistake for the third time, Ms. Conrad called it a day.
Kaylee, please go home and practice.
Ugh! I could have wiped that smug look off of Heidi's face. Everyone went to start packing up their bags, and I started to head backstage to get my bag when Patrick came up to me.
Hey, gorgeous. Want to stay and practice a little with me? Then it'll be perfect by tomorrow.
Oh, I wouldn't want to impose. Your toes must be all bruised.
That's okay. I really don't mind. And I wouldn't mind spending a little quality time with my co-star.
Well, if you insist. Just then, Addison came up to us.
Hey, Kaylee, ready to go?
That's okay. I should really practice a little longer.
I can practice with you. I could use a few run-throughs myself.
Oh, well, Patrick already offered to stay behind and practice with me here.
He did he? How are you gonna get home?
I can drive her.
Oh, do you live in our neighborhood?
No, but
I mean, if it's not really convenient for you.
I'm not spending time with Kaylee because it's convenient.
Neither am I.
I'm spending time with her because she's cool.
My face turned bright red. Did he really mean that? Addison, I'm gonna stay here too. Just for a bit to practice. I'll see you later, okay?
Fine. If you insist, I'll see you when you get home.
He turned on his heel and walked out. Patrick turned to me with a grin on his face and held out his hand.
Shall we?
We practiced more, and I was finally getting good. Patrick swung me out for our final spin, then pulled me in close and dipped me. That's when I noticed his face was just so close. His ice blue eyes staring deep into mine. Was he gonna kiss me? Just then, all the lights in the theater went out. Patrick dropped me in shock and I shrieked. All of a sudden, the lights came back on and Ms. Conrad stepped back on stage.
Oh, hey, kids. I am so sorry I didn't realize you were still here.
Ugh, I couldn't believe she'd interrupted our moment. Still, we waved goodbye to her and headed out. A little while later, when Patrick dropped me off, he got out of his car to open my door. Such a gentleman!
It was nice hanging out tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, superstar.
Then he wrapped his arms around me and gave me a big hug. Is this what heaven smelled like? Then I headed up the front walk to my door.
So, do you like him or something?
I whipped around and saw Addison waiting on our front porch swing. I don't know, maybe. He's so cute and really talented.
Okay, cool. I guess, do you still want to practice?
That's okay. I think I got it now.
Okay then. Well then, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Here, I got you a milkshake.
Hey, thanks. He started crossing the yard towards his house. Is it?
Cookies and cream. Your favorite.
Thanks, I'll see you tomorrow.
You know it.
Then it was finally time for nationals. As we arrived at the concert hall, I was overwhelmed by all the other groups here and overheard one girl say to another,
She was a little flat at the end.
I couldn't believe it. What if I lost us the whole competition? All night and throughout all our warm-ups the next day. It was all I could think about. If I messed up again, I'd be letting everyone down, including myself. And there were several famous music industry people judging the competition. What if I ended my career as a singer before it even started? And then, it was almost time to go up. I tried to calm down, but I was shaking like a leaf.
Miss Conrad, Kaylee doesn't look so good.
Miss Conrad came over. She looked pretty nervous herself.
Kaylee, you look terrible. Are you going to be able to perform?
Of course
Because if you're sick, I can always put Heidi on.
I'm ready to go, Miss Conrad.
Just then, I spotted Patrick warming up down the hall. I just need a minute. I raced down the hall towards him. He was stretching, shaking out his hands, jumping up and down. Patrick! His expression was so strange. Was he nervous too? I'm so nervous. Do you think we could practice?
Kaylee, I'm kind of busy.
What if we?
I really just need some space here. Kaylee.
Yesterday you said we were a team. That doesn't feel like a team to me.
I can't do this right now. Could you leave me alone?
Fighting back tears, I ran down the hall and found a corner backstage. I couldn't let anyone see me so upset, especially not Ms. Conrad or Heidi. What was I gonna do? Suddenly, Addison stepped out of the shadows. He looked so handsome in his costume.
Kaylee, are you okay?
I threw my arms around him. He caught me and squeezed tight. I'm so nervous. I overheard one of the other teams say I sounded bad. Ms. Conrad is ready to replace me with Heidi. Patrick isn't any help, and there's amazing industry people out there. And ugh!
You sounded amazing in rehearsal. Those other teams were just jealous. Forget about Patrick and Heidi. Remember why you love to sing? What was it your grandma always said?
Sing from your heart.
Exactly. Just do that.
I took a few deep breaths, and Addison was right. Will you just run the last part of the number with me?
Of course.
And there, in our little corner of the theater, we stepped, we twirled, we kicked in time together. Addison took my hand, spun me around, and dipped me low. I felt his arm slip. He was dropping me, but right before I was sure I'd hit the ground, he caught me with a twinkle in his eye. I swatted his arm. You tricked me.
I'd never drop you. And even if I did, I'll always be here to catch you.
Thank you, Addison. Then he smiled at me so genuinely, and my heart fell into my stomach. What was that?
Places, please. Students' places. Kaylee, are you ready?
Yes, Ms. Conrad. As we all rushed to take our spots to start our number, Addison shot me a wink.
Knock 'em dead, superstar.
You too. As soon as the lights came up on stage, I felt a little thrill of excitement. We danced, we sang, we twirled. Everyone had brought their A game. When it came time for my duet with Patrick, we totally nailed it. But any spark that had been there was gone. As the opening chords of my solo began, the lights shined down on me, and I opened my mouth, and the music poured from my heart. I knew my grandma was right there with me. I hit my final note and held it out forever, as everyone finished their steps behind me. As we struck our final pose, the crowd erupted into applause. A standing ovation! I beamed. We totally nailed it. That night, after all the points had been tallied, All the teams gathered on stage behind the judges. Addison reached for my hand and I squeezed back. Thanks for the pep talk. I could have never done it without you.
Of course you could have. I'm just here to remind you.
You're always there for me. He leaned in close, and I felt a flutter in my stomach as he whispered in my ear.
And I always will be, if you let me.
I turned to look directly in his eyes.
Kaylee, I have to tell you.
Just then, the announcer started announcing the winners. Second place, runner-up. Our whole team clasped hands and took a deep breath together.
And the grand prize for this year's National Show Choir competition goes to...
As they said our name, the crowd roared. It was so loud I could hardly think. Confetti rained down on us as Ms. Conrad stepped forward to accept our trophy. I threw my arms around Addison, and he picked me up, swinging me in a circle. We did it! We did it! As we packed up our things in the dressing room and said goodbye to the new friends we'd made at the competition, one of the judges knocked on our dressing room door. He was an exec for a record label back in LA.
I was so impressed with you. Your vocals were so clear and you've got some real presence up there. Give me a call if you think you'd be interested in recording a single.
He handed me his card, and I shook his hand, totally awestruck. Maybe dreams really do come true. I felt so relieved. Not only had I not let everyone down, but I'd made myself proud. On the beach, Addison sat down next to me, running a hand through his hair. When he saw me watching, he grinned, and the butterflies were back.
I'm totally beat, aren't you?
Definitely. I got you something.
Oh yeah?
I pulled out a bag of gummy worms and your favorite.
You're the best, Kay.
He ripped open the bag and dug in. Hey, Addison, what was it you were gonna tell me earlier?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, I have something I want to tell you.
Yeah?
I like you.
Really?
Really.
I like you too. I have for a while now.
Really?
Really.
He took my hand and, I know, my cheeks turned pink.
I got something for you too.
Ooh, okay. I love presents. And then he put his hand on my cheek, leaned in close, and kissed me. It was the perfect end to a perfect day. Hi, my name is Pearl. Please like and subscribe. My parents were one of the richest people in the city. And when I was born, everyone gasped at how amazingly beautiful I was. And since I was their only child, my parents treated me like a princess. Agu agu.
Oh my gosh, honey, our daughter said her first words.
Let's throw a party.
They were just crazy about me. I had hundreds of maids to feed me, bathe me, walk me, and even comb my hair.
Oh my gosh, you broke my darling girl's hair. Do you have any idea what this hair is worth? It's worth millions.
Of course, Mom overreacted a lot. She would even fire the maids if my milk was not the right temperature, and Dad was no less. When I turned 5, he ordered the servants to redecorate my room. And you won't believe it, he changed everything to gold and diamonds, including my toilet seat. Not only that, but I had different dresses and shoes to wear every day. And the driver would drop me off to school in my favorite red Lamborghini. I felt like a true princess. And honestly, I loved it. But there was someone who hated every bit of the life that I lived. Melissa. She was the meanest girl in my class, and she hated me for, well, everything. She will steal my doll and throw it into the mud. Once, she even trashed all of my notebooks. But school wasn't the only place that I had to bear her. Her were friends with mine, and I often saw her at sleepovers and parties too. On my 14th birthday, Mom and Dad threw me a grand party and invited all of their rich friends. And of course, Melissa came with her parents too. When I walked down the stairs, everyone looked stunned by my beauty. Everyone but Melissa. Her face turned red like a tomato.
Good Lord, your daughter is so pretty. I think I'm gonna marry her to my son.
Ew, no, there was no way that I was gonna marry his stupid son, Xander. But I wasn't the only one who was mad about it. Melissa had always dreamed of becoming super rich by marrying Xander, because his dad was the richest man in the city, and she looked super pissed at this comment. But then suddenly, her facial expressions changed, and she walked up to me with a smile.
Hey Pearl, happy birthday. Here is a gift from me.
What? Was there a bomb in there? But then when I opened the box, a kitten jumped out of it. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I loved it, but why was Melissa being so nice to me? All of a sudden, something didn't feel right. Later that night, when everyone left, I was playing with my cute little kitten when suddenly it scratched my face with its paw. Ah! Melissa's cat turned out to be just like her. Evil. Mom and Dad came rushing out when they heard my screams. They rushed me to a hospital, but even after weeks of treatments and several procedures, the scar didn't go away. Now I had no choice but to live with it and cover it with makeup. When I went back to school, Melissa was waiting to mess with me again, but thank God she had no idea about my scar, or she would make my life a nuisance.
Move, Pearl. This is my seat. And just because you're rich doesn't mean you own everything.
Well, I do own a lot of things, but I don't see your name on it either. She got super pissed, and she was about to throw her plate of food in my face when Xander cut in and stopped her.
Hey, stay away from my girl. Pearl, stop messing with her.
My girl? What's going on? I'm not your girl. Are you crazy?
Oh, my sweet Pearl. Don't you remember what my dad said on your birthday? We're gonna be married eventually.
What? We're just 14. Are you crazy?
There is no way you can marry him, Pearl. I won't let that happen.
Well, I won't let that happen either. Now get away from me, both of you. God, these guys were so crazy. It was such a headache going to school every day and seeing them. Especially Xander. He was such a pain in the butt. He'd flirt with me all the time and scare away all of the other guys who ever tried to talk to me. I hated every bit of my junior year, up until the teacher introduced an exchange Korean student to the class. His name was Mino, and gosh, he was so handsome. The teacher asked me to help him with the syllabus, and while we were studying in the library one day, Xander came marching at us.
Who do you think you are, sitting here with my girlfriend?
Saying that, he suddenly grabbed my hand.
You're coming with me, Pearl.
Stay away from me, Xander. I'm not your girlfriend. Just then, Mino cut in and punched him in the face.
You should have just let her go.
Oh my gosh, his deep voice and those fierce eyes. I instantly fell in love with him. He was so amazing. Xander ran from there like a scaredy cat. And I thanked Mino for saving me from that jerk. To which he smiled and said,
Well, I can see he's a jerk, but you're so pretty. Anyone would go crazy for you.
Oh my gosh, he thought that I was pretty. My cheeks turned red and I almost melted. After that, Mino and I spend most of our time reading in the library together. It was so much fun just to sit next to him and admire all of those books. Months felt like days with him, and I couldn't believe that a year had passed with him. Then one day, while I was having lunch at the cafeteria, Xander came up to me and started acting up all of a sudden.
You think you're gonna be happy with that stupid jerk? He's a loser.
Well, last I saw, you were the one who got punched.
That's because I just didn't hit the gym that day. But anyways, I won't let him take you away from me, Pearl.
You don't own me, Xander. Now get lost. But before I could complete my sentence, Melissa threw a can of juice in my face.
Stay away from my guy, you witch. Don't you already have a guy now?
Melissa, have you lost it?
Drop the act, you boyfriend stealer.
But then suddenly, I realized my makeup, my scar. I pushed past her and ran to the washroom immediately. But to my horror, I ran straight into Mino. His eyes widened as he looked at me. Oh no!
Why are you all wet? Who did this to you?
What? Did he see my scar? Or was it that he just didn't care?
Tell me who did this. I'm gonna teach them a lesson.
No, Mino. It's fine. I just tripped. I couldn't believe that he got so mad seeing me hurt. And he didn't mention anything about my scar. Like it was totally normal. Gosh, he was such a darling. I couldn't resist it anymore. I pulled him in for our first kiss and wow, it was magical. After that, we started officially dating. And I felt like the happiest person on earth. But not for long. Mom, what's wrong? Why are you crying?
It's your dad, honey. He had a heart attack.
Oh my gosh, Mom, what happened? Where is he? Mom told me that Dad lost all his money in a bad investment, and now we're almost bankrupt. Dad didn't take the news so well, and he ended up in the hospital. After that, I stayed at home for almost a week, until Dad recovered, and I didn't tell Mino so he wouldn't worry. Then one day, all of a sudden, Mom and Dad asked me to accompany them to a party. But Dad, you just got discharged. But they insisted that I tag along anyway. And they asked me to doll up and put on my best dress. But when we got there, Xander's dad made an announcement that almost gave me a heart attack.
Hello, everyone. It brings me great joy to announce the engagement of my son, Xander, with my friends, daughter, Pearl. Please, everyone, give the couple a big hand.
And with that, Mom started dragging me onto the stage. What? Mom? Wait, what's going on? Is this some sort of joke?
Oh, honey, please don't be mad. It's the only chance that we have to save our company and our home. Besides, Xander is such a nice guy.
No, Mom. Xander's a jerk, and I am not doing this.
Oh, honey, but look at your dad. He's so happy. The doctor said that he wouldn't survive another heart attack. Do you want him to leave us forever?
I looked at Dad, and indeed he looked happy. And although I loved Mino so much, I couldn't let my dad die either. So I had to choose my parents' happiness over mine. A few days later, when I went to school, I found out that Xander had told everyone about our engagement, including Mino, and he looked furious.
Tell me this is all a lie. Tell me you didn't want any part of this. Just tell me.
But I couldn't tell him the truth. Mino, I love Xander, and that's why I'm marrying him.
No, you're lying.
No, I'm not. He's rich, and who doesn't want money? I knew that he loved me, and that my words would break his heart, but I had no choice but to lie. After hearing what I said, he backed off, and he left, and he never looked at me again. Finally, on our wedding day, when I felt like everything was gonna be fine, things took a wild turn. I heard Mom and Dad talking about something I had never imagined in my worst nightmare.
Stop eating so much. You're gonna have another gastric attack, and it's your daughter's wedding day.
Well, thanks to my gastric attack, Pearl agreed to the marriage, thinking it was a heart attack. Otherwise, there was no way of getting her to agree to this, and we would have remained poor for the rest of our lives.
What? You guys lied to me? How could you? Mom started crying and tried to stop me.
Please, honey, please understand that
I sacrificed my happiness because of you guys. And you, I hate you. I stormed out of the wedding venue, throwing the wedding ring at Xander's face when I met him on my way out.
Stop. Pearl, where are you going? Wait, you're the one leaving? Really? I know all about your ugly scar, and I still want you. You stupid girl, this is how you pay me back.
What? You knew?
Yeah, dumbhead, I knew. So come back here and kiss me right now, or I'll make you regret it.
He got closer and tried to pull me to him, but I slapped him hard and left. I wasn't gonna wait or listen to anyone anymore. I had to find Mino and tell him that I loved him. I called his friends, but they told me that he was at a BTS concert at the MetLife Stadium. Really? Of all places, a BTS concert? I rushed to the stadium, and I ran backstage to grab a mic and shout out my confession to him. But oh my gosh, I couldn't believe my eyes when I ran into all of the BTS members. It was like I was dreaming.
What are you doing here?
Why are you dressed like that? Do you need some help?
Of course, I wish that the time would stop right there and then, but I had to find the love of my life. I told them about my situation, and I asked them to help me. And they did. They were so nice. They allowed me to go on stage and talk to Mino. I was really nervous, but then I gathered all of my courage to speak. Mino, I'm so sorry that I lied to you, but the truth is that I love you and I can't live without you. Please forgive me. My eyes filled with tears as I confessed my love for him. And then I saw him running towards me through the crowd. He jumped up on stage and he kissed me. The crowd cheered for us as he lifted me up in his arms and he whispered into my ears,
I love you too, Pearl.
Sally walked through the door in the back alley straight into the crazy restaurant kitchen. She spotted her mom stirring 3 pots while the head chef screamed at everyone.
Faster! Faster!
Sally walked up to her mom and tugged at her apron.
Mom, I need to ask you something. Right now? Yes, right now. What is it then? Spit it out.
Mom, where's my daddy?
Suddenly, the bowl her mother was holding crashed to the floor.
Oh my God, you stupid woman! You're fired! Get out!
A minute later, Sally and her mother found themselves out on the street.
Mom, I'm really sorry.
You wanted to know about your dad, huh?
Yeah, we had to make a family tree in school.
Well, he's not your family. He's a good-for-nothing loser who left us. I'm your mom and your dad. And look, just mentioning him made me lose my job. He's bad luck. Not a word about him ever again.
As they walked back home in silence, Sally wondered who her dad was and why he'd left. What she didn't know was that her mom wasn't telling the truth. Her dad didn't even know she existed. One day in the 10th grade, Sally was waitressing at a restaurant when suddenly a woman started to choke on something. Sally rushed to her and performed the Heimlich maneuver till she coughed out a piece of chicken.
Oh my God, you saved my life.
As all the customers applauded, the woman took Sally's hand and dragged her outside.
I don't know how to thank you, but let me try.
She took off a large diamond ring on her finger and pushed it in Sally's palm. Sally tried to refuse, but she wouldn't hear a word and just left. When Sally and her mom had the ring valued, it turned out to be worth a whopping $1.2 million. This could change their lives. They sold the ring, and with the money, they decided to move to a better house. One night, Sally's mom slipped into the attic and took an old letter out of the box. She went downstairs and threw it in the fireplace. She didn't want Sally to ever read it. The letter said, "I'm so sorry that you had a miscarriage and you had to go through it alone. I know you hate me, but please let me help you. I really do love you, and I always will. Charles." But what she didn't know was that a few days ago, Sally had been looking for something in the attic, and she'd already found the letter, and it kept haunting her. Sally looked for anything she could find on her dad and found out he was a wealthy businessman. She'd never be at peace till she met him just once. So one night she packed her bags, took some of the ring money, and left home. She took a train to the city where her dad lived. Now all she had to do was find a way to get close to him. The next morning at breakfast, Sally spat out her coffee when she saw an ad in the newspaper for a nanny by her dad's family. 24/7 nanny needed for an 8-year-old girl. PS only apply if you have a sophisticated British accent.
Wow, that's perfect.
Sally thought to herself.
I can fake that.
When Sally went for the interview, her jaw dropped at the size of the mansion, and there was a long line of nannies at the front door. As she joined the line, a little girl peeked out from behind a tree, looking angrily at the nannies. Just then, she spotted Sally and their eyes met. Sally started walking over to her. That must be her half-sister.
What are you doing, sweetheart?
I'm Cynthia. I'm running away. What does it look like?
Oh, I see. But why?
'Cause my mom's getting me an old cranky nanny again.
Well, what if I was your nanny?
You don't look old or cranky.
I'm not, darling. I'm full of nonsense and fun.
Please be my nanny. You sound freaking funny.
Meanwhile, what was happening in the mansion was crazy. Cynthia's mom couldn't find her anywhere and was certain someone had kidnapped her. She'd gone down to the police station, and when she got back with some officers, she found Cynthia and Sally.
Officers, arrest her! You get away from my daughter.
No, Mommy, she's my new nanny.
What, you don't get to decide that, Cynthia. We have no idea what kind of person this girl is, and she looks too poor.
Mom, you always choose my nannies, and they're awful. It's either her or no one.
Cynthia's mom had no choice, so she hired Sally and asked her to move in. Sally was so excited that she'd finally meet her dad, but the poor thing had no clue that she had so much trouble ahead of her. When Sally left for her room, Bella, Cynthia's sister, showed up.
Oh, you're back! I was hoping this time you were gone for good, brah.
Oh yeah, I'm back, witch. And guess what? I picked my own nanny. Wait till you see her. She's so much prettier than you. I can't wait for your boyfriend to meet her. Maybe he'll finally dump you.
Watch your mouth, you little monster!
And with that, Bella pulled Cynthia's hair and they both started screaming. Sally heard them and came running to save Cynthia.
Hey, leave that kid alone or I'm calling the police.
What? Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
Well, I don't care who you are, and you don't have any right to hurt a kid like that.
Oh, I have the right to hurt anyone I like. Like now, for example.
And with that, Bella attacked Sally, and they both started wrestling on the floor. Cynthia started screaming and ran off to call her parents. Just then, a man barged in and pulled them apart.
Who are you, and why are you hurting my daughter?
Sally looked stunned when she saw her dad for the first time, and she couldn't say a word.
Daddy, this is my nanny, the nicest person on earth. Bella is just evil.
Sally's dad looked straight into her eyes, and for a moment she almost thought he knew who she was. But then, he just turned to Bella and said,
To your room, now.
As Bella was leaving, she turned to Sally.
I swear I'm gonna make you regret the day you entered this house.
She stormed out of the room, and suddenly, Sally's dad turned to her.
Listen, don't ever touch my kids again. Is that clear? Don't forget your place if you want to stay here.
And with that, he turned around and left. That night, when Sally was in bed, she suddenly heard someone opening her door. She leapt out and grabbed her special broomstick, ready to attack. But suddenly, the door barged open. She let out a scream and hit the boy with the broom, knocking him out. She started slapping his face to wake him up. When he opened his eyes, Sally saw that they were the most gorgeous hazel color. They stared at each other for a few seconds, then quickly jumped to their feet.
That was quite a greeting. You could have just said hello.
You could have just knocked.
I thought this room was empty. Who are you?
What? Who are you?
I asked first, who are you?
Hiya, I'm Sally, Cynthia's nanny. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Bella's boyfriend, Alan. Or at least I was. I think we just broke up for the 20th time.
With that, he climbed out the window.
It was nice to meet you, Sally. Also, the accent is kinda hot.
And then he left. As Alan drove off on his motorbike, he couldn't stop thinking about Sally's eyes. The next day, Sally was determined to tell her dad the truth. She waited for him in the living room, but Cynthia told her that he'd left for a business trip. Sally decided to wait for him, but she had no idea how long she'd have to. One night, Ellen crept up the wall to Sally's window and knocked gently. When she pulled back the curtains and saw him, she looked more annoyed than surprised.
If you've come back to make up with Bella, why aren't you using her window?
I'm not here for her. I'm here for you. Come with me. I want to show you something.
But what about Bella?
We broke up, remember? It's for good this time. Now come.
Sally felt hesitant, but she looked into his warm eyes and just couldn't say no. As the two climbed down and sneaked off across the gardens, they had no clue they were being watched by Bella. Bella ran across the house and burst into her mother's room.
Mom, wake up! Do you have any idea what's happening under your roof? You should have never hired that nanny.
When Bella told her mother what she'd seen, she was angry.
Poor girls like her just want to dig their claws into someone rich, and these men are idiots. But Bella, you cannot let Alan get away.
I'm trying, Mom.
Oh, poor baby. I know you are. Don't worry. Mummy will help you get rid of this nanny tonight.
A few hours later, when Sally climbed back through the window, she nearly fell back in shock to find Cynthia, Mom, and Bella sitting on her bed.
Well, hello, Sally. Where were you? Meeting up with your criminal friends?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
That's when Cynthia's mother walked up to her, holding a diamond necklace she'd never seen.
I found this in your drawer. To think I ever let a thief like you into my house?
What?
I've packed your bags already, so just get out before I change my mind and call the police.
Sally was horrified, but she knew she had to leave now. She picked up her bags and ran out of the house in tears. While Bella and her mom were cackling upstairs, Cynthia had woken up to the noises. She peeked out of her room to see Sally running out the front door. Cynthia burst into tears and ran after her.
Sally! Sally, wait! Please don't go!
Sally didn't look back even once and got into the cab. At the gate, Cynthia kept running after till the car was out of sight. But when she turned to go back, she didn't realize she'd taken the wrong route. Back at the mansion, Cynthia's mother had found out she was gone. She screamed and woke up all the servants to go out and search for Cynthia. Cynthia's mother called up Sally immediately.
Of course she's not with me, ma'am. I don't know where she is.
Sally, you have to come back right now and help me find my baby. I know, if anyone can find Cynthia, it's you. Please, I'm begging you.
Sally immediately asked the cab driver to take her back to the mansion. When she was close, she suddenly shouted,
Wait! Stop right here!
She jumped out of the cab and picked up a teddy bear from the road. It was Cynthia's. Cynthia had realized by now that she was completely lost. Suddenly, she looked up to see Sally and ran straight into her arms. Cynthia's mother ran out crying when she saw the two walking in through the gate and hugged her tight.
Mom, is Sally going somewhere? If she leaves, I'm going to run away again.
Cynthia's mother grit her teeth. Her plan had failed, but she had no choice. Bella was absolutely furious. As Sally walked back into her room, Bella suddenly grabbed her wrist and whispered,
Listen to me, witch. You're only back here because you seem to be very lucky. But don't you dare go near my boyfriend ever again.
With no clue of what had happened the night before, Alan reluctantly went to the mansion the next morning. Bella's mother had called him in. When he walked into the living room, he found Bella and her mother there.
Before you say anything, Mrs. Charles, please hear me out. I can't do this anymore. I don't love your daughter. And...
Suddenly, Bella's mom flung over a small table, angrily smashing a vase to pieces.
You stupid boy. What's the love got to do with anything? This marriage is really important to both our families, and I don't think your parents will be thrilled to know you've been going out with the help.
I don't know what you're...
Stay away from the nanny, Alan. She really needs this job, and I'll make her life miserable if I see you near her. Now you two grow up. No more breakups and nonsense.
When Sally went downstairs, she almost fell back in shock to see Bella sitting in Alan's lap. She felt so foolish for believing his lies.
We broke your heart.
Sally started to walk away, but Alan pushed Bella aside and went after Sally, gently grabbing her wrist.
Alan, what is wrong with you? What do you think I am? Some toy for you to play with? I don't want you coming near me again.
Sally, you need to listen to me.
No, she doesn't, you jerk.
And with that, Bella attacked him. Sally tried to pull her away, and then Bella attacked her.
What is going on here?
Sally turned around in horror to see her dad, and he looked really mad.
Sir, this was my fault, not hers.
Oh, is that? You will be marrying my daughter next week. I'll talk to your father tonight. Sally, leave my house now.
Sally decided she couldn't hold it any longer.
I've been waiting for you, Mr. Charles, because there's something I need to.
I don't want to hear another word. Leave. Please leave my house.
No, you need to listen to me. I'm your... Hi, I'm Juliet from LA. But thanks to my mom, I had to change my identity and become Jessica. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. My mom is French, and she moved to the US before I was born to become a successful actress. And she did get super famous. Her life was always in the spotlight, and that included me. I always loved the attention, and when I joined school, everyone knew me and wanted to be my friend. It was awesome, until one day, it wasn't. I was in the 5th grade when Mom took me to the opening of a fancy French restaurant. But when the head chef brought our food, I almost threw up. What is that?
Frog legs and baby snails, mademoiselle.
Ew! Gross! Could I just have some French fries, please? The chef gasped like I'd killed his mother.
You insult me. I make the best French food in the world.
So I asked for French fries.
I don't make French fries.
I'm going to McDonald's. You suck. I jumped off my chair and started running out to my car. Suddenly, I tripped and crashed straight into a waiter, and we both landed flat on our faces. I turned around to see everyone staring at me, and Mom looked mad. Okay, this was embarrassing, but who cares if some strangers saw me, right? Wrong. The next day, it was all over tabloid magazines and the internet. Pictures of me on the floor with my butt cheek showing. And in school, I was the butt of every joke. Literally. I was hating school now, but I found a way to escape. Soon, Mom was going abroad to film a movie for 6 months, and I begged her to take me along. And, well, I just never returned. I traveled the world with my mom and had private tutors, and when I turned 13, I got into modeling myself. Once, when I was 15, I was lounging in a pool chair when suddenly a puppy leapt at me and I screamed as it started chasing me. I ran indoors and crashed straight into someone, a rather cute, nerdy-looking boy. I muttered an apology and was walking away when he called out,
Hey, look, it's Beyonce.
Oh my God! Where?
I don't really know why I said that. Hi, I'm Michael, a huge fan.
We actually ended up having dinner together, and it was the best time I'd had in ages. He was funny and clearly smitten with me. Later that night, I realized what was missing from my life. A boyfriend. Maybe it was time to go back to high school and get one. It would be easy for a famous teen model, right? Wrong. When we got back to LA, Mom had some shocking news for me. Turns out she had a new life plan, and that was Tariq, an Arab billionaire who was obsessed with her. They were getting married, and she was leaving her whole life behind, including me. What? How could you do that?
Oh, you know Tariq doesn't want any kids.
But how will I live on my own?
You'll be living with your aunt. You're young, with years of fame ahead, mon chéri. I have to think of myself now. My looks aren't going to last forever.
That was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Nope, wrong again. 2 days after their wedding, I woke up to hundreds of tags on Instagram. Apparently, Tariq was a diamond smuggler, and both he and Mom had been arrested in an airport. After that, my life was a mess. I couldn't go anywhere without being hounded by reporters.
How does it feel to be a criminal's daughter? Did you know anything?
Did your mother just abandon you and leave you with that crook?
It looked like any chance of going to high school and having a normal life was ruined. But then, I decided I wasn't gonna let all this stop me. There was one solution. I talked to Aunt about it, and she agreed. She hooked me up with hair and makeup professionals and a plastic surgeon. After dyeing my hair, learning how to put on makeup, and getting a nose job, I was unrecognizable. Now I was just a nobody named Jessica. Without my fame to fall back on, I was feeling lost on my first day of school. Just then, I saw a pretty girl standing by the notice board, and I walked up to her. Hi, I'm Jessica, and,
why are you talking to me?
I'm new here, and I was wondering if you'd help me find my class.
I'm new too. How should I know?
Right? Well, thanks anyway.
Okay, I'll be your friend. You don't have to beg. I'm Ashley, and I'll help you. You're welcome.
Ashley was kinda weird, but I was just glad to have a friend. And as we hung out more, I realized the tough, mean girl thing was just an act. A week later, I signed up for a charity bake sale in school. As Ashley helped me set up my stall, she popped a cookie in her mouth.
So yum. I'll buy all of them.
What? That's like 200 cookies.
It's for a good cause. Here, take my money.
What's wrong with my cookies, Ashley?
Nothing.
But I took a big bite of one and spat it out. That's disgusting. Did I use salt instead of sugar? Ashley burst out laughing, and so did I. You bought them all because they're so terrible. That's actually really sweet.
Unlike your cookies. You got some crumbs?
As Ashley brushed them off my mouth, I suddenly felt butterflies. What the heck? And that's when a flying basketball hit me right in the face and I blacked out. I opened my eyes to find myself in the nurse's room and 2 faces around me. One was Ashley and the other was Michael.
Thank God you're awake. I'm so sorry, Jessica. Right.
I wasn't imagining it. It really was Michael, and even cuter than I remembered. But he didn't know who I was, so I was really surprised when he said,
I feel terrible. Could I make this up to you by taking you out for dinner sometime?
As we exchanged numbers and he left, Ashley looked really annoyed.
Jessica, you don't even know the guy.
I'll get to know him when I date him. What's the matter, Ash?
Nothing. Whatever.
I started seeing Michael, and I was quite enjoying it, except that ever since he came along, I could feel Ashley being distant, and that was bothering me. One evening, when Michael dropped me at home, he suddenly drew me close.
Jessica, I really like you. I think I'm falling for you.
And then he kissed me. It was my very first kiss, and it was lovely. When I went to my room, I nearly screamed. Ashley was sitting on my bed, looking livid. Geez, you scared me! So you avoid me in school but break into my room. What's your problem anyway?
I don't want you dating Michael.
Why? Do you like him?
No, you idiot. I like you.
Oh, that does make more sense.
I know you're with Michael and I'm happy for you. Blah, blah, blah. But I just had to tell you. I guess we'll only be friends then.
But she came closer, and suddenly, she was kissing me. It was my very first kiss with a girl, and it was lovely. Just then, someone tapped on the window, and it was Michael looking mad.
You forgot your scarf. Want to tell me what's going on here?
As the two stared at me, I sank down on my bed. Guys, I'm so confused. I like you, Michael, really, but I like Ashley too. I know you two won't wait around for me to decide.
Oh, I will. I'm not giving up on us so easily.
Yeah, me neither. Why don't you date both of us for 2 weeks and then decide? Jess.
Wow, they were both willing to fight for me. This was amazing, and I agreed.
May the best man win.
Or woman.
My first date of the week was with Ashley, and she'd planned an amazing picnic. She fed me strawberries and read me poetry. It was so romantic. Just then, someone came and sat down next to us.
Fancy bumping into you guys here. I was just on my run.
Then why don't you run away and keep going till we can't see you?
Relax, I'm leaving. Oh, Jess, I gotta tell you what I've got planned for our date. It's epic.
He whipped out 2 tickets from his pocket for a Beyoncé concert. I shrieked and hugged him, but quickly pushed him away when I saw Ashley's face. The next night, I was having a blast at the concert with Michael when someone touched my shoulder. It was Ashley.
You're crashing our date?
Wonder where I got that idea from. But this isn't about you, dude. Jess, I got my dad to pull some strings and I have backstage passes. We can actually meet Beyoncé.
OMG, what?
What about me?
I don't know. Go home. I'll have Jessica dropped. Don't worry.
I felt sorry for poor Michael, but I wasn't missing a chance to meet Queen Bee. The next few days went the same way. They both kept planning amazing dates for me and kept ruining them for each other. One night, Ashley and I managed to have a romantic dinner without Michael dropping in, and she was kissing me goodnight at my door when suddenly the locket I was wearing got tangled with hers and fell off before I could pick it up. She did, and saw the picture inside.
Jess, why do you have a picture of this famous actress and her kid?
I should have lied, but I just didn't want to. That kid, it's me. And she's my mom. I told her how hard things got after Mom's arrest and how I just wanted a fresh start. She looked stunned, but then she hugged me tight.
Your secret's safe with me, Jessica. Or can I call you Juliet?
I think I'd like that. She was about to kiss me again when suddenly Michael sprang out of nowhere.
Hey, babe. I just dropped by with some cookie dough ice cream. Your favorite.
She just had dessert. She doesn't want your stupid ice cream.
Why don't you let her speak for yourself? Are you her lawyer?
Why don't you get a life and stop crashing our dates?
Why don't you jump off a bridge?
Enough! I'm so tired of this. You're so busy fighting each other, no one's even looking at me. This is not what I wanted. Figure out a way to make this work, or I'm done with you both. I snatched the ice cream from Michael and stormed off. They were being so annoying. But the next day, that was the least of my problems. Aunt woke me up to see the news, and I watched in horror. My secret was out. It was everywhere, and hundreds of reporters were gathered outside of our house, wanting to talk to me. What a nightmare. But what really hurt was that there was only one person who could have leaked that information. Ashley, how could you do this? I trusted you, and you took less than a second to betray me. How much did you get paid for this, Ashley?
I swear, Juliet, I didn't do it.
There's no one else who could. Stop lying, and don't ever talk to me again. Later that night, once all the media people had left, Michael paid me a visit.
How could you lie about this, Juliet? You should have told me who you really are.
Why? I didn't want to be that person anymore, and I just didn't want to tell anyone.
Obviously you told someone, it just wasn't me.
Michael, please!
Forget it, you lied to me. We're done.
In a day, I'd lost both my boyfriend and girlfriend, but I was too angry to care. Michael was only thinking of himself and not what I was going through. And Ashley, I'd never forgive her. One day, as I was wondering what I'd do next, I got the most unexpected call.
Oh, Juliet, I've missed you.
Mom, where are you? Mom then told me she got out of jail, got a divorce from Tariq, and settled in Paris.
I'm so sorry for leaving you and for everything I've put you through. I read all the news, but I must say, you're even prettier with your new nose job.
Why did you call me Mom?
Come to Paris, mon chéri. I know lots of agents here, and they would love to sign you. Don't hide away and waste your talent. You were meant to be a model.
I was still so mad at her, but I had to think about it. I was done with this place, and to be honest, I did miss my career. Maybe Paris was exactly what I needed. I still don't trust you, Mom, and don't expect that I'll forgive you anytime soon. But I did pack my bags for Paris, and I ended up loving it there. I joined the high school, and my modeling was picking up once more. Then one day, I read the most surprising news. The plastic surgeon who'd done my nose job was being sued for leaking the identities of many clients to the press. Oh my God, it was him, not Ashley. Just then, I heard the doorbell ring, and I opened the door to find Ashley standing there. Hi, how did you find me?
I begged your aunt to tell me. Juliet, I didn't betray you.
I know that now. I'm sorry.
Don't be. It's okay. Just tell me this. If none of this had happened, who would have won? Me or Michael?
Michael wasn't even close. It was you, Ashley. It's you. And then I kissed her.
Hi, I'm Joy from Chicago. Please like and subscribe. My parents always loved to call me a unique child. When I was little, I was always making toy buildings out of random stuff. Seashells, bottles, cereal boxes, anything I could get my hands on. I was also kind of shy and found it more fun to help out with chores at home than play with other kids. One day, Mom was teaching me how to make pancakes when she suddenly stopped and stared at me.
Sweetie, what's the matter? Am I going too fast for you?
No, Mommy. Everything's fine.
But you keep blinking a lot, like there's something wrong.
I hadn't even realized it. So Mom took me to a doctor, and I got diagnosed with an excessive blinking condition. It was nothing serious, but in school, kids started making fun of me for it, and I'd mostly just stay away from them and sit alone. One day in 3rd grade, I was making a presentation, and this stupid boy kept interrupting.
Miss Brown, why does Joy blink so much?
Just keep quiet and listen to Joy's presentation, please.
But how can I listen when Joy's eyes are doing all the talking?
The whole class burst out laughing. Just then, this kid Martin walked over to the annoying boys' table.
Hey, don't talk about Joy like that.
Oh yeah, who are you, her boyfriend?
Martin jumped on him and the two started wrestling like crazy. They both ended up in detention for a week. So after school, I snuck into the detention room and sat next to Martin. Hey, thanks for sticking up for me.
I hate when people tease you. You're like the awesomest, smartest girl in our class.
I joined Martin for detention every day, and after that we hung out all the time. It turned out he even lived in my neighborhood. I'd always been a loner, but for the first time, I had a best friend. And it was amazing. Having Martin in my life made me less shy, and I changed a lot. We stayed super close through the years. But when we reached high school, Martin gave me some news one day.
My dad's business really took off, and we're moving to another neighborhood. I'm also going to a private school.
Wow, that's super cool, but I'll really miss you.
Hey, why don't you apply for a scholarship? Then we can still be at the same school.
My parents were happy for me to try to get into a better school, so I applied for the scholarship and I got in. Little did I know that it was the worst decision ever. On the first day of 9th grade, I almost fell over when I saw Martin. There he was, dressed head to toe in designer clothes, and was wearing a gold watch. Who are you and what did you do to my friend? And how much gel is in your hair? Dude!
This is just how the cool kids dress nowadays. You didn't know that?
No. Should I?
Yeah, you should. You need a makeover, girl.
I just laughed and punched his arm. Later at lunch, a bunch of rich kids walked by our table.
Hey, Martin! I've seen you around my neighborhood. Want to come to my party this Friday?
Sure. Can I bring Joy with me?
She'll have to buy new shoes first. I bet the one she's wearing right now came from a garbage dump.
Hello, I'm right here, and I love these shoes.
Joy, she's joking. Calm down.
The girl walked away with her minions, and I felt so annoyed at Martin. How could he think that comment was a joke? Apparently, there were lots of kids at school who lived in Martin's neighborhood, and it seemed like he was becoming friends with them overnight. That next Monday, I didn't see Martin until lunchtime with his arm around a really pretty girl. Hey, saved a seat for you at our usual table.
Actually, I have a girlfriend now, so I'm gonna go sit with her.
Oh, okay, well, have fun. I went to sit by myself and watched Martin from afar. He looked happy, but he just wasn't acting like himself. As weeks went by, Martin got super handsome and muscular and really popular. I missed my friend, but I gave him his space. But one day, I caught Martin and his friends surrounding a younger kid, and Martin was reading his diary out loud.
Stephanie Twain, the love of my life since 5th grade.
I ran forward and snatched the diary from him. What are you doing?
What? I'm just here to entertain people. Reading idiots' diaries is my opening act.
Martin, why are you acting like this? Just because you're rich now doesn't mean you have to be a jerk.
You know what? I think you're just jealous because I have other friends now and I'm not a nerdy loser like you.
Look at me. I'm Joy, and all I do is study in the library because I have no life.
Then Martin started blinking really fast and shaking his head. Are you making fun of me? Before I could stop myself, I slapped Martin hard across the face and ran away from there. The whole rest of the day, I had to fight from crying. What a jerk! But when I got home, I forgot my troubles when I found Mom sitting in the kitchen looking really worried. What's wrong, Mom?
Joy, your dad and I are in serious debt. If we don't find a way to get some money soon, we could lose the house.
Lose the house? Are we gonna end up homeless?
No, I shouldn't have said anything. We'll be fine. Don't worry about it, honey.
But I did worry about it. I watched Avatar World videos on YouTube to take my mind off of things, but I didn't get much sleep that night. Weeks went by and things kept changing. I just focused on my studies and saw Martin from a distance turning into a completely different person. Then one day, a new guy named Cameron arrived at school. He looked like Harry Styles, and based on his Lamborghini, he was clearly rich. All the girls were drooling over him, but I just rolled my eyes and walked away. He was probably just another snooty brat, but I was surprised when Cameron came and sat next to me in my robotics class. He seemed super impressed with the robot bird I was building. I've been working on it for almost a year.
Are you like a genius? You can tell me the truth. You don't have to be modest.
Ha 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 ha. I laughed and ended up sitting with Cameron for lunch. And he never once made fun of my blinking or even asked about it. We were having a great time until Martin walked over.
Dude, what's a guy like you doing with someone like Joy? I'll introduce you to my friends. They're more your type.
Martin, why are you such a...
Sure, I'll come and say hi right now.
Cameron leaned over to me and whispered,
Trust me, you just sit back and enjoy the show.
I wondered what he was up to as he walked over to Martin's friends. And when Martin introduced his girlfriend, Cameron suddenly took her hand and kissed it.
I'm heading to a yacht party tonight. I'll offer you $500 to be my date.
His girlfriend instantly pushed Martin away and armed through Cameron's.
You got yourself a deal, cutie!
Wait, what the heck? I thought you really liked me.
Cameron pulled away from Martin's girlfriend.
Your friends really are something. I just wanted to show you that. And I don't like hanging out with fake people. Don't ever come near me or Joy again, okay?
Cameron walked back to me, and I saw Martin's face had turned really red as he stormed off furiously. I hoped he'd had some sense knocked into him. Later that week, I got some amazing news. My teachers wanted to enter my robot bird into a huge science fair with a big cash prize. If I won, I could help my parents out.
Your hard work is finally gonna pay off, Joy. I wish I were as talented.
Wait, what if you enter the science fair with me? You can help me with the finishing motion.
Are you serious? You're the coolest girl ever.
Cameron and I worked hard on it all month. The night of the fair, I reached the venue before Cameron, who was bringing the project. But hours passed and he just didn't show up. I called and texted frantically, but he wouldn't answer his phone. I was called to the stage empty-handed. The judges couldn't wait any longer. I was disqualified. But just as I was leaving the venue, Cameron showed up. Oh my God! Where were you? How could you let me down like that?
Joy, I'm so sorry. When I left the school with the project, all my tires were flat. 10 minutes later, I couldn't even call you because my phone wasn't in my bag. I don't know who stole it or slashed my tires, but I can make a guess.
Martin! I was burning with rage the next day when I saw Martin in school. I walked up to him and grabbed his collar. You heartless jerk! You did that to Cameron, didn't you?
Hey, back off! And yeah, I did, haha. But why are you so worked up? So your lover boy had to wait on the road for a while. Big deal!
It's not just about him, Martin. I missed the science fair because of what you did. You know, I've been working on that project for a year. Doesn't that mean anything to you? For a second, he looked taken aback, but then he just shrugged.
How was I supposed to know all that? Anyway, I did you a favor. You've been a nerdy loser since I met you. It's time you found a new hobby, Blinky.
I sprung forward and pushed Martin to the ground. I'm just through with you. I used to think you'd be the last person to ever hurt me, but I don't even recognize you now. You're just a big jerk bully. I turned around and fled from there. At that moment, I hated him so much. A few days later, I was studying at the library for exams and realized it was really late. As I walked out of the building, I heard laughter coming from the back alley. I went over to see what was going on and nearly fell backwards. Martin and his friends were spray painting the principal's brand new car. Are you crazy? What are you doing?
Ugh! What are you doing here, Joy?
Martin, just please stop this. You could get in so much trouble.
As if you care. Just keep walking and pretend you never saw this.
I had no choice but to leave, but seeing him this way was so frustrating. The next day when I went to school, all everyone was talking about was how the principal's car was wrecked, and he was raging mad. But in the third period, I was shocked when I was called to the principal's office.
I saw on the CCTV footage that you were on the premises last night when my car was destroyed.
But sir, I had nothing to do with it, I swear.
Oh, I know that. But I think you saw who did it.
I just stared back at him and then spoke. It was really dark. I wouldn't be able to tell you who it was for sure.
Joy, you're here at this school on a scholarship. If I don't have a name by Monday, you'll lose it for next year. I suggest you be smart and think about your future.
I walked out of the principal's office in shock. Just then, Cameron caught up with me.
Joy, what's going on? Why were you called to the principal's office?
I told him everything that had happened.
You can't just throw away your scholarship like that. You have to turn Martin in.
How can you even suggest that? He used to be my best friend, and I'm not a snitch.
He's not your best friend anymore. He's a jerk, and he deserves this. If he was a nice guy once, he's changed, Joy.
But I didn't change. I just can't do this, Cameron. I won't do this. I'll go to another school. It won't be as great as this one, but I'll be okay. Tears stung my eyes. I thought about the colleges and opportunities I'd never have now. But I was doing the right thing. That Monday, I went to the principal's office with a heavy heart, ready to lose my scholarship, but he told me the most shocking news. Martin had come to his office and confessed to destroying his car. So what's going to happen to him now?
He's already expelled, of course.
I couldn't believe it. Why did he suddenly confess? And he even took the fall for his friends. I found the other two brats who were with him that night snickering in the hallway, and I asked them.
We don't know why that loser did it. We'd all gotten away with it.
It wasn't his idea. He just does whatever we tell him to, always trying so hard to be one of us.
I've known Martin for years, and trust me, he's 10 times better than all of you. I shut them aside and left. I was totally off the hook, but Martin was gone for good. My head was spinning. But when I got home that day, I found my parents in the living room with huge smiles.
Joy, we have the most wonderful news. We're not in debt anymore.
Are you kidding? That's amazing. But how?
Some anonymous donor paid off all the money we owe for the house. Like, we have no idea who did it.
It was probably Cameron. He's an amazing friend. I just know it was him. I rushed to my phone to call Cameron and thank him. But suddenly, I realized Cameron didn't know my landlord or anything about my house. There was only one person outside my family who did. The next morning, I took a bus to Martin's new place and knocked on his door. Hey, I have a weird question. Did you pay off our mortgage?
Yeah, I did. But hey, don't worry about it. Our moms ran into each other, and your mom told my mom everything. I told my parents I'd help them out at work every weekend if they paid your loan.
Martin, I don't understand. I thought you hated me now.
Why would I hate you? Cameron told me what you did for me. After how horrible I've been. You were gonna give up your scholarship and ruin your future for me. I guess I'm not really surprised, because that's just who you are. The best friend one could ask for. I couldn't let you do that though. I got expelled, 'cause I deserved it. And I'm really sorry about everything.
I was so touched to see Martin's teary eyes. Hey, don't make me cry, bro. It's okay. And thank you for apologizing. I'm just glad to see my old friend back.
Me too, and for the record, Cameron's a really good guy. You have my blessing to be with him.
Yeah, I didn't ask for your blessing, but thanks anyway.